Hi everyone, welcome to Liars Academy. My name is Layo. I'm the founder of Liars Academy. Today, I hope you had a pleasant Sunday and I hope you enjoyed your weekend. And I do hope you're ready for work tomorrow. So, today, I am going to be breaking down two important IT audit concepts in a very simple way. And the concepts are IT general controls and IT application controls. I am going to be talking about the definitions, the differences, and how to explain them in interviews. If you are new to IT audit, these terms can actually sound intimidating. But by the end of this video, you should be able to explain the difference clearly in interviews and also understand how they show up in real work. The video is especially helpful if you are preparing for IT audit roles, SOX roles, or any role where IT controls are part of the conversation. Um, Also, I want to start by explaining that this is a very important topic. Most times in interviews, hiring managers often want to know if you understand the difference between controls that support the system overall and the controls that operate within specific applications. You may mostly test ITGCs in your early roles or as a beginner or and at entry level. That is very normal, but even at that, you should still be able to speak confidently about ITACs. Understanding this difference between the ITGCs and ITACs would also help you to see how IT audit connects to financial reporting, data reliability, and not just technical systems. Okay, why interviewers ask about ITGCs and ITACs? At the end of the day, it is about trust. Can we trust the system to produce reliable information? Okay, is the financial reporting data reliable for the business? Financial reporting and key business data like IC general controls are the foundations that supports the system, like I explained, and ITACs are automated checks inside an application. And then I'm sure by now, if you have been following me, you should know the definition of controls, the types of IT general controls, which I'm still going to explain in this video. So controls are how organizations reduce risk and protect data. They are the measures put in place to make sure that the risk it can prevent risk, it can mitigate risk. The goal is to be able to explain both clearly. Even if you are testing only ITGCs, yes, you should be able to still explain ITGCs and ITACs in your interviews. And at the end of the day, you can say, oh, I only do IT general controls, but they still expect you to be able to explain both. Okay, so let us start with IT general controls. They are also called ITGC. So if you're hearing ITGC, what are ITGCs? They are controls over the IT environment that support reliable system operation and support application control. What does it mean? They are foundational controls. They are the foundational controls that support the overall reliability of the system. They are the ones that, like, the controls that create the environment of trust, that yes, there's something in place to mitigate risk. It prevents like a trust around, the environment. Think of IT general controls as the controls that answer the questions: can we trust the system to operate in a controlled and in a secured way? And what are some of the examples of IT general controls? We have access. Some examples: who has access to the system? How are changes to the system managed? How the system is supported and also monitored? What are the monitoring controls around the system? Okay. And there are three domains, typical domains: access management, change management, and IT operations. And then what are IT application controls? IT application controls, on the other hand, are automated controls inside an application that would help ensure transactions are authorized, they are complete, and that they are accurate. So they are inside the application, ensuring that transactions are authorized in in the right manner. Example: system validation rules, automated calculations, automated three-way match. Okay, and we are going to see that. Okay, controls that exist within specific applications just to ensure that the transaction flows are processed accurately and completely. ITACs would actually focus on the correctness of data. They are helping to prevent error, duplicates, missing information, invalid transactions. Okay, when you're thinking of ITAC, think of ITAC as controls that answer the question: is this application processing data the way the business intends it to process it? That's the question that should come to you. Is it processing data the way it is supposed to process it? Okay. For the three types of IT general controls, I have it detailed in my IT Audit Fundamentals book, and also part of the things I taught in my 5-day training that happened last week. Okay. So these three ITGC domains you test most often, like I said, I won't go into too much details. Access management, change management, and IT operations. Access management is talking about who has access to the system, who approved it, was the access removed, termination removed in a timely manner. Okay, and you're looking at different evidences like tickets, approvals, user listings, termination dates. Change management, how system changes are requested, how they are tested, how they are approved, how they are moved into production. You're looking at different CRQs or change tickets. You're looking at testing evidence in the UAT environment, approvals, migration logs. And then for IT operation is talking about backup job. Is there monitoring for job processing? What is the backup recovery method? How are incidents logged? How are they managed? Okay, and then you'll be looking at evidences like backups, job schedules, incident tickets, and recovery. So if you can explain, I've told my the people in my IT audit committee and the people in my training class last week, if you can explain these three clearly, you already sound job ready. At least be able to explain access management, change management, and IT operations clearly. You are job ready. Like you can actually get a job if you can get this explained in a very good manner. Okay. Then when we talk about ITACs, here are some examples, like very simple examples of IT application controls. ITACs live inside the applications like ERP, payrolls, billing systems. Okay, so some of the examples of ITACs: maybe an application that is preventing a user from submitting a form if required fields are missing. That is a very simple example of ITAC. Sometimes you want to submit a form and it will not allow you to complete it because you didn't fill some required fields. Or maybe a system is automatically rejecting duplicate invoice number. Sometimes you want to do transactions in your bank and then you are alerted and say, oh, this is a duplicate transaction. That is a very good example of ITAC. It's coming and say, oh, you transferred the same amount a couple of minutes ago. It's a duplicate. You will be alerted, okay? Or system validations that ensures amount fall within approved limit. For example, you are not authorized. The approval limit for your role is 10,000. If you're trying to approve 20,000, the system is going to validate and say no, you can't approve. Or configuration settings that enforce business rules. So these are some of the types and easy examples of ITACs. Input controls: check that data entered is valid and complete, required fields, format validation, drop down list, duplicate checks. And then for processing controls: checks during processing, so calculations and logics are correct, automated calculations, system configure tolerances, or workflow approvals like I just explained. And then output controls: checks that reports and outputs are accurate and they go to the right people. Okay, report reconciliations, exception report review, or restricted report access. These are all very simple examples of ITACs. So let's talk about how ITGC supports ITACs. Okay. Let me go. So you can say you understand ITACs even if you have not tested them yet. Yes, this is a very important tip here. Even if you have not tested ITAC before, like I said, you are good if you can explain your ITGCs very well, but you should still have very good understanding of ITAC. So in your interviews, you should be able to explain it as if you've actually tested it before. How IT general controls support ITAC. ITGCs are the foundation controls, like we said: access, change, and operations they keep the environment stable. If ITGC is weak, it can reduce the confidence in automated control. So ITGCs, if they are not strong, they are closely related and support ITAC. If ITGCs are not strong, automated controls, ITACs will be affected. Okay, so these are examples of ITAC, like I explained: system blocking duplicate invoices, automated approval for or report totals, um, auto reconciliation. Okay, so that is how ITGCs mainly support ITAC, because ITGCs, if they are weak, they will not be able to um the automated controls will also be affected. Okay, a quick example you can use in interviews. Okay, what else? What you can say in interview, a scenario: account payable in an ERP system. In interviews, especially if it's an entry level or early career roles, it is okay to say that your hands-on experience is mostly ITGC. I'm repeating that. You don't need to say, oh, I tested ITAC, when you've not tested ITACs, because ITACs could be a little bit complicated. So you could say something like, oh, my practical experience has been mainly in ITGC testing across assets management, change management, and IT operations. However, I understand that IT application controls operate within the systems to ensure transactions are processed accurately and completely, and that strong ITGC support the reliability of those application control. This is going to show both honesty and understanding that yes, even though you've not tested it, you understand it. You are not pretending to have experience you do not have. You are showing that you understand the concept. Okay, so example of ITGC you can give: user access to ERP is approved and removed on time. You can go to my IT Audit fundamentals. I have all these detailed very well with examples. Another example of ITC: changes to invoice workflow are tested and approved. Backup and job monitoring reduce outages and data loss. Examples of ITACs in app automated check: system blocking duplicate invoice, three-way match rule prevents payments without receiving, tolerance rule flags unusual amount for review. Like if it's an unusual amount, there's a system, a trigger that will trigger it that, oh, this is an unusual amount, like we do get in our bank. Those are automated controls. For those of you that, that's a very good. Sometimes you are doing a transaction, your card blocks your card. This is not manual, it is automated. It is a system that will flag it, oh, this is an unusual transaction. Okay, and let's see how testing differs in practice. ITGC testing often looks like selecting a sample. You then look at the evidence, look at dates, look at timing. You are inspecting different evidence like tickets, user lists, termination logs, HR reports, and then you conclude pass or fail, and then you document. That is the process of ITGC. However, for ITAC testing, it looks like understanding. You need to understand the rule inside the system. Okay, you need to confirm configuration set. What is configuration settings? What is, that? Then you should be able to reperform or test with sample transactions. Okay, can you try a transaction, a duplicate transaction? Let me see, maybe it will go or not as when you're testing. Okay, and then you're validating that the automated outcomes and exceptions are correct, they are accurate. If you are early in your IT audit journey, do not feel pressure to master ITAC testing immediately. I do not like ITACs. So don't feel pressured. You don't have to learn ITACs. Start with understanding what they are, why they exist, and how they are related to ITGC. Have that basic understanding. Over time, as you gain more exposure, you would naturally be able to learn how ITACs are designed and tested in real environment. The goal at this stage is clarity and not perfection at this point. Okay, this is a very confident interview answer you can adapt. In my recent work and training, I have primarily tested ITGCs. I read this now across these systems. I understand ITACs as these automated controls. I also understand that a strong ITGC will support the reliability of those automated controls. When I test, I focus on evidence, clear documentation, and a practical conclusion. Keep it simple, keep it truthful, and keep it evidence-based in your interviews. So I'm giving you all an homework today. I would normally not do this, but this is a very important topic, and I want you to practice this because it would help you in your interview. Trust me, if you can speak clearly to IT general controls and then you understand the concept of ITACs, you are good on your interviews. So the first question, what is the difference between ITGCs and ITACs in one sentence? Okay. Give one ITGC example and one ITAC example from a real process like payroll, billing, or accounts payable. What evidence would you ask for to test your ITGC example? This is what I've just covered in today's video. I hope this has been helpful to you. I hope you have been able to learn this. Your confidence grows when you practice saying it, not only reading. So please practice saying this concept over and over again. Okay? And if you want detailed explanation, review chapter 3 on ITACs if you have my IT Audit Fundamentals manual. It is more detailed in chapter 3. And if you do not have my IT Audit Fundamentals manual, click the link in my bio. I would also leave it in the description. Visit my digital store and buy my IT Audit Fundamentals manual. Okay? Write a 1 minute explanation of ITGCs and ITACs in your own work. Make sure you update your resume with the testing work you practice, apply to roles, and keep your momentum gentle and consistent. Keep learning. I have an IT audit community. I post daily soft nuggets like this to help them ace their interviews. You can ask me questions. You can practice your interview answers with me. Okay? You are not meant to do this alone. Liars Academy is here to support you. Clarity first, then your confidence follows. And that is why Liars Academy was created. And also, lastly, I'll leave you with this. You are not behind, you are becoming. You are taking those small steps. I look forward to cheering you. I look forward to seeing you succeed in your interviews. Feel free to drop a message if you'd like to connect with me. Thank you and have a very blessed day.